Hi and welcome to Higher English, your go-to channel for mastering business English. My name's Craig and today we're going to climb the language ladder, exploring the highs, lows and plateaus of economic trends. Whether you're a business professional, an entrepreneur or a student aiming to sharpen your English skills, understanding how to describe these trends will give your language a real boost. Pun intended. Whether you're discussing market reports, analysing company performance, or just trying to sound more like a native speaker, these expressions will give you the edge you need in your professional communication. So, let's get started. Let's kick things off with verbs that describe upward economic movements, what I like to call the going up verbs. First we have boost. This verb is commonly used when something is given a push or an increase due to external factors. For example, you might say, the government stimulus package is expected to boost consumer spending. It's like giving the economy a shot of adrenaline to keep things moving. Next up we have hike. When you think of a hike, you probably imagine climbing up a steep hill. In business terms, a hike usually refers to a sudden increase, often in prices or interest rates. You could say, the central bank's decision to hike interest rates took many investors by surprise. Our next verb is peak. This is used to describe when something reaches its highest point before it begins to decline. Imagine climbing a mountain and standing at the very top. That's your peak. For example, the stock prices peaked just before the company announced its quarterly earnings. Another impactful verb is rise. This is a straightforward way to describe an upward trend, often in sales prices or other measurable data. You might say the company's profits have continued to rise steadily over the past year. And finally, we have skyrocket. This verb is reserved for extreme increases where numbers shoot up dramatically. Picture a rocket launching into the sky. That's the kind of rapid growth this word conveys. You could say, after the product launch, sales skyrocketed by 200%. Now let's shift gears to the verbs that describe downward trends, what I call the going down verbs. Starting with decline. This is a gradual decrease over time, like a gentle slope downhill. In a business context, you might say, there's been a noticeable decline in demand for traditional print media. Next we have dip. A dip is a small temporary drop. Think of it as a brief dip in the road before it levels out again. You could say the company's shares dipped slightly after the CEO's resignation, but quickly recovered. Moving on, we have plummet. This is the word you use when something falls sharply and suddenly like a stone dropped from a great height. You might say, oil prices plummeted amid fears of a global recession. Another strong word is hit rock bottom. This phrase means to reach the lowest possible point. It's often used in a more figurative sense. You might say, after years of poor management, the company's profits hit rock bottom last quarter. And lastly, we have slump. A slump suggests a significant fall, often prolonged and with little hope of recovery in the near term. You could say, the housing market has been in a slump since the financial crisis. Moving on, let's talk about what happens when things don't move up or down, but rather stay the same. I call these the staying the same expressions. First up, we have to even out. This is when fluctuations start to stabilize, leading to a more consistent pattern. You might say, after a volatile few months, the market finally began to even out. Then there's remain stable. This is used when there's little to no change over a period of time. It's often a good thing in times of uncertainty. You might say, despite the global turmoil, our revenue has remained stable. And our final example is stagnate. Unlike the others, stagnate has a negative connotation. It implies that there's no growth or progress, and possibly even a sense of being stuck. You might say the company's innovation pipeline has stagnated due to a lack of investment. Now, let's add some colour with adjectives and adverbs that give you more nuance to your descriptions. We'll start with sluggish. This adjective suggests slow or lethargic movement, often used when things aren't progressing as expected. For instance, the economy has been sluggish in the aftermath of the financial crisis. Our next example is substantially. This adverb is used to indicate a large degree or amount. It's more impactful than just saying a lot. You could say profits increased substantially after the new product launch. Then there's noticeably. This is used when a change is clear and easy to see. For example, consumer confidence has noticeably improved over the past quarter. Moving on, we have gradually, and this is an adverb you'd use when change happens slowly over time. It's the opposite of something sudden. For example, the company's market share has gradually expanded. Finally, we have considerably. This is another way to say significantly, and it packs a punch in business discussions. You might say, our operational costs have considerably decreased since we implemented new efficiency measures. And there you have it, some really powerful expressions to help you articulate economic trends like a pro. These words and phrases will not only make your communication more precise, but also more engaging and impactful. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our latest lessons. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.